It's the same bio where I took this from, so this might not be correct.
Fucking rip it up.
Yeah, but the album in many ways thematically is a reflection of Glaswegian nightlife. Is that fair to say?
No.
No.
See, again, it's like, but listening to the record now, there does seem like there might be a narrative to it, but it certainly was never at the. It was never
conceived that way.
It was never consciously like that. How the albums ended up, listening to it now, there is a sort of, a theme, but certainly there's a first half and there's a second half, but there was never any consciously trying to capture anything.
It informs it, like anyway, like if you were in a band and you're from Amsterdam, your life and how you live it here would inform your music. It informs our music, but it wasn't written to be a reflection of it, if you understand.
Definitely.
It's just something.
It just happens to be that it kind of does reflect.
Like a lot of things with a band, things just happen naturally, and then it's no maybe after the fact that we go.
Somebody points out,
and then you say, well, you know what, that actually makes a lot of sense, but there's not a lot of theorising that gets done in our band. You know what I mean? We just take it as it is and let it come out, and there's something there that we dig, and we're incredibly happy that it's there. But there's not a lot of planning.
But I assume then that the songs are written from a personal point of view of things that surround you.
Well, some are stories. Again, I don't really know too much about the whole writing process to talk about it at length. So I would just be making it up as I went along. I just know that it's there. Some are stories, some are not. You know what I mean? It's just there.
Well, if for instance, if we take, because one song that stuck out for me was "Every Guy Wants to Be Your Baby."
Yep.
A song like that, how does it start? How does the writing for a song like that? So do you start with the music? Do you start with the lyrics?
No, again, that's something that we don't really like to get into too much.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think if you start explaining,
you lose the majesty and the sort of mystique if you explain all your songs away.
You know what I mean? It's like we're really keen for people just to make up their own minds and not to explain things too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let people take what they want from it. You know what I mean? Again, I don't know too much about the whole process to really talk about it at great length. It's there, the music's there, and we play it and we record it and we go and play live. But again, where it comes from and all that, we're keen not to really explain too much. People can take what they want from our music. If they dig it, great. If they don't, that's fine as well.
So you rather let the music speak for itself?
I think so, because that's what we like. You know what I mean? We don't like.
I don't want to delve into where Dock of the Bay comes from. I don't really care where it comes from. I just know that it's a great song and it makes me feel a certain way inside myself.
Exactly.
And maybe he wants me to feel that way, and maybe that's just how I feel. But that's how I feel, and that's what I like.
Aye, and I personally don't like when people really analyse it and explain it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll make up my own mind. Thank you. You know what I mean? I'll take what I want from it. So I think that's what we'll do. Is that people can take whatever they want from our music. They dig it, fantastic. If they don't, that's fine as well. We're loving it. You know what I mean? So we're good. You know what I mean?
Well, so what makes a good song then for you? This might be difficult to answer, but is it a feeling that?
Oh, it's definitely a feeling. Like with the best songs, you feel either it makes you feel really joyous, or you can feel the heartbreak, or you can feel the anger if it's an angry song. It hits you right in here, rather than you going, oh, that song sounds great. I can imagine how a million people will like it, or some lot of records. Like that doesn't come into it.
I think for us, more than anything, from the inception of the band, it's more about trying to feel something, and just because that's all that we've really had. That when we started, it was my first band. Jordy had never played the drums, William had never played the bass, so it wasn't so much about loving getting great, huge songs like Every Guy Wants to Be. You know what I mean? That never came at the start. You know what I mean? We started and it was like a fucking racket, but we loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was more about trusting our instincts and going like, you know what, this feels good, rather than it being something that was like like the record, because the record was a long time coming for us. You know what I mean? We'd been playing for
3 years.
3 years before we cut the record, so it's always been about trying to get a feeling and trying to do something.
And when it all clicks together, you know, someone doesn't have to tell you that's a good song. When it's together, you know, when you're in the rehearsal room and you look at your pals there and you go, wow, we
as
just
I
hit
said,
something.
rather than theorising about it too much, it's just about trusting your instincts, because that's all we really had to go on from the start.
What was there one song on the record that really, in particular?
Every guy wants to be a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me.
Well, I think as we were recording each song that we were recording, there was a certain moment.
Oh no, definitely.
As we were going, and we would know when it was there.
You'd be sitting in the control room, you go, man,
And like
do you hear that?
That's it. Something would come up and we'd say, okay, and that happened as the record was going. So I couldn't really put my finger on one precise moment, but there was definitely a feeling as we were doing it. Each song was getting to where it needed to be. We didn't know what it needed to be, but we just knew that it was there. You know what I mean? But every guy said,
like when I first heard the saxophone on it, I was just blown away. And I was just like, because we knew we wanted a saxophone player, and we wanted sax, and to actually hear the fruition of, because I'm not a sax player, none of us are, but our good friend Andrew came in and did that for us, and it was just like, it lifted everything, and you're like, wow, we've actually got something good on our hands here.
Well, the passion really comes through in talking to you about the music. So do you have any, again, might be a difficult question, but do you have any idea where this passion for music comes from?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
It's just a passion for anything. If you're going to live, you've got to be passionate about it. But what's the point in going in with half an effort?
I don't think you choose to be passionate about it. I think you either are.
Well,
passionate,
no, fair enough.
And where that comes from, I really don't know. I just know that we really dig playing music together. You know what I mean? We love playing music together. We love writing music together. We love being in a band together. We're best friends. And there's passion there, undoubtedly, because we love what we're doing. We love what we're doing, you know what I mean? But I don't think you get to choose. I think it's either there or it's not. You know what I mean? You can't say, right, okay, I'm going to be
passionate today about art.
I'm going to be passionate about life today.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. You know what I mean? It needs to be natural, and it certainly is natural for us to be so passionate about what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's a great feeling, it really is.
In this sense, is Glasgow, has it got a vibrant music scene that cultivates this?
Absolutely.
Very much so,
absolutely.
yeah.
Glasgow right now is really cooking musically. I mean, there's a lot of shit, but there's a lot of good stuff happening as well.
And it's the really good stuff, just people going away and doing it because, for the same reason we're doing it, because they love it. They'll be doing it anyway, regardless if they've had shows or people sit in their bedrooms and turn knobs in it, and they just love it and they're passionate about it, and that comes through. And that comes through in any form of life, really.
Sit in a bedroom and turn the knobs.
Okay, you might have got me a wee bit funny there.
Are you talking about me here or
No, but I mean, it comes through in any form of music when somebody enjoys what they're doing and they're doing it for the right reasons. You know what I mean?
In Glasgow, you can tell the bands that are making music for the love of making music, and that's what's really exciting, rather than being like a scene or like a general anything like that. There's just bands in Glasgow doing stuff that's really interesting, and they're just doing it for the love of just making music. You know what I mean? And that's what's really healthy about it. It's because that's what making music is for. It's for yourself. You know what I mean? If people dig it, great. But you want to make interesting music for yourself, and an enjoyment of doing it.
Well, and this enjoyment and the feeling of good music, what we talked about earlier. So I assume this then translates through in the way you perform live.
Who knows? That's for other people to decide. Like we can't tell people how to dig your. No one can.
No, but our passion comes through in the way we play live.
I know, but
whether they pick up that,
whether anybody picks up on it is completely up to everybody. Anyone that wants to come and see us play, people dig it. Great. If people don't, that's fine as well. You know what I mean? If people want to come and lose their shit at a fucking Snakeheads gig, then we'll certainly be bringing it. You know what I mean? So. You know what I mean? If you want to come and see rock and roll, you come and see us, because we're going to bring it every fucking night we play. You know
but I think as well, energy doesn't always transform into passion. Like you could jump around like an idiot all night long, but you can look in somebody's eyes when they're on stage, and you can tell they mean it, and it's You know what I mean? And I hope that does come through because we definitely mean it.
Final question. The Amazing Snakeheads, where does the name come from?
We picked it out the ether
Literally.
one time.
It's like,
It came.
it's literally as easy as that. There's nothing.
It came in
to
a
it.
collective dream. we all had the same dream one night, and we came out to practice and we said, I had a fucking dream last night. We should
Yeah,
call the
Amazing
band Amazing
Snakeheads,
Snakeheads. And Jordan went, I had that exact same dream. And William done it as well, so that was just the name of the band.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cool, man.